Hello and welcome. My name is Al Barrows, and this is UFO Disclosure, the podcast that's meant to show an average person's reaction to all the UFO, UAP news from everywhere and anywhere. This abduction report I found on alien cases seems to answer a lot of the questions many of us have about shape-shifting extraterrestrial craft and even humanity's own origins. So this story takes place in February of 1989 in New Zealand, and it centers around Alec Newald. Alec Newald was driving from Ra'ua to Auckland. The mountain range was enveloped in a dense fog, and this was the last familiar sight that he registered before he was abducted. Once he came back, the exhaustion and disorientation were merely a prelude to an even greater shock. 10 days, 10 days were erased from his mind. Newald's memories gradually began to come back. He remembers being transported to an alien environment. Initially, a female figure described as remarkably tall escorted him. Soon, he found himself before three other beings, one shorter, with features Alec perceived as masculine. The third, even smaller yet, with a presence that radiated authority. This small being, with its large rounded head, narrow and widely spaced eyes, a diminutive mouth, and no visible ears, communicated, not with audible words at first, but in a way that transcended language. A special suit placed on Alec seemed to facilitate his understanding. "I am the guardian of this session," the being reportedly said, offering to make Alex's experience as comfortable as possible. The question burning in Newald's mind about how communication was occurring was anticipated, raising suspicions of mind reading. The guardian clarified that his race rarely used speech with humans except at a distance. Alec was given a choice. He could leave, but in doing so, he would lose the chance to acquire vast knowledge and understanding of his own species and the universe. There was a caveat. Not everything could be revealed yet, and some of the acquired knowledge might be erased if he chose to leave prematurely. Newald's decision led him to an unimaginable spectacle. He was taken to an immense city, immaculately clean, stretching along what appeared to be a coastline. A dark, almost black, and incredibly calm sea lapped its shores. The city itself occupied a strip of land between this coast and a vast desert. There were no towering skyscrapers. Most of the constructions were low, with predominantly circular shapes. The buildings were made of a material with colored glass, each topped by something resembling a large net-like lamp, perhaps an energy system or a protective shield. Upon disembarking, Alec felt a flexible floor beneath his feet. Curiosity and excitement overwhelmed him. The architecture was unique. Buildings with external walls sloped at precise 30-degree angles, receding with each floor, creating the appearance of a giant staircases. Circular or cylindrical structures predominated, arranged spirally with the tallest at the center, decreasing in height towards the periphery. The house that sheltered him had an external spiral ramp providing access to the upper floors. The lighting was diffuse, omnipresent, with no discernible source, functioning day and night. The interior was equally fascinating. The main floor of the ethereal beauty was dominated by a pearly white with all the colors of the rainbow reflected in the objects. It seemed as if everything, including the vitreous material furniture, had been molded as a single piece without seams. The soft, cushioned floor was slightly darker, and the colors of the environment, Newald discovered, could change, reflecting the thoughts and emotions of the inhabitants. A central circular space was used for meditation, a state that replaced sleep and lasted only an hour. In this extraordinary environment, Alec allegedly received information that redefines our origin. According to his captors, both Homo sapiens and their predecessors, the Cro-Magnons, were artificially engineered. The aliens reportedly revealed that the final pieces for the formation of the Cro-Magnon body was assembled some 70,000 years ago. Cro-Magnon were designed to be more than mere hominids. They were vessels, biological vehicles intended to house a bodiless entity that we commonly call a soul. They already possessed the biological capacity to receive vast ancestral knowledge. This knowledge, however, is not entirely unknown on Earth. A small fraction of society, a secret sect dating back to antiquity, were supposedly entrusted with guarding and, at the right moment, sharing this wisdom with the rest of humanity. Originally, this information was not secret. However, these guardians allegedly broke their vow, withholding the knowledge, perhaps out of greed for power, or because they deemed humanity not yet ready. Some, Alex says, may have even forgotten the origin of this legacy. This betrayal would make them fear the return of the creators. The technology witnessed by Alec was as advanced as the revelations. Transportation in the city was by vehicles resembling the cockpit of a wingless fighter jet, made of a translucent colored plastic-like material, on top and opaque below. They operated on a combination of mental power and magnetic propulsion. Although Alec couldn't pilot them with his mind alone, he could control the direction manually while one of the beings supplied the energy. Special protective goggles adhered to his face, integrating with his suit. Alec also mentions in his book, Coevolution, what he learned about science. He spoke of liquid crystal as a fourth state of matter, where elongated molecules create an intermediate phase between solid and liquid. He also linked Beckert salt's organic superconductors to UFO sightings. The appearance of these crystalline materials could change dramatically depending on the light, from bright metallic to dull or even invisible. This would explain how the ships that abducted him seemed to change shape almost as if they were alive, utilizing crystalline technology, perhaps operating with pulsed resonance and vibrational frequency to achieve interdimensional travel. Alec Newald's extraordinary journey came to an end. He returned to Earth, but his life would never be the same. Shortly after his return, scientists from New Zealand's Department of Scientific and Industrial Research approached him, eager for information about his experience, and especially about the alien technology. Alec, however, distrusted their true intentions, sensing they were actually agents of some secret government organization. Their goal seemed to be to prepare for a possible return of the extraterrestrial beings, aiming to appropriate their resources and technologies. Faced with Newald's refusal to cooperate, the harassment intensified. His home was broken into several times, even with constant changes of address. The threats became harsher. And despite the persecution, Alec decided that part of the knowledge he acquired should be shared, which led him to write the book Coevolution. So Alec Newald wrote a book, Coevolution, and it's about what he learned during his abduction. Could he be one of many attempting to profit from alleged UFO encounters? Or is he for real? If this account is in any way true, then our understanding of who we are and where we came from is changed forever. My name is Al Barrows. This has been UFO Disclosure. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks.